Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. This is AEW on TW. Um, a lot has changed, gone further than I thought I would have at this point. Without a video being posted because I had some issues with some footage, and yeah, I'd basically gone up to All In. I didn't do All In. I recorded a 2.5 to 3 hour block of videos to be cut up. I'm put out in quick succession. Um, and yeah, that was going to explain all the changes. We're down like 150 people on the roster. We've got rid of some big names. And there's a lot of reasons for that. There's a lot of things we've done. I don't have another 3 hours to record. So we're going to go through it in kind of supersonic speed and go over the card we put together um, for All In and everything else. So, first things first, a lot's going on. We've hired a bunch of people, we've fired a bunch of people, and I realized that book, I couldn't think for like an hour about each month, about what storylines and how they fitted into the overall picture, and who I was pushing, and who I was doing what with, and how that fitted into each show week to week to week to week. Only to set it up and basically do a Dynamite and Collision per video, because that would kind of be all our progress. Like, we got 2 videos a week planned for this game. And if we did those 2 shows, that's a week in game planned. So we're moving at half speed, which means in 6 months we'll have done a year in the game. That's not progress. That's not what we're here for. And I made a decision to condense it down and basically just show the events and then also take some time. So there'll be like a preview of everything that's happening in the month in between events, all the hirings, firings, world news, everything I've taken note of within the world. I can do a little hour, maybe hour and a half on that, and then an hour to an hour and a half on booking and kind of going over the results of our pay-per-view and the other TV that we've done in between those 2 deals, in between those 2 videos. That to me makes a lot more sense. We'll get more progress. We'll basically be doing a whole month per week, and so we'll be going forward in terms of years rather than months at a time. I think that'll be quite good. Also, we can go a little quicker than that, and I can, edit the videos down even shorter and just, kind of only touch on things that need to know and kind of affect anything now. Um, so yeah, there is that, and there's also a chance we do that. Then maybe there'll be a YouTube live stream where you can watch as I go through my more verbose thought process and kind of put everything together. So that's just a little quick update on the process and plans. Um, the biggest things we've done, we're at war with TNA. Why we war with TNA? I offered Braun Strowman a contract, a written contract. They offered a handshake on slightly less money, which he then took. Because we got a no compete, that killed my offer, even though I'd since upped that offer to a lot more money. It still killed that contract. I still wanted Strowman, aka Adam Scherr. And so I decided to go scorched earth, and I broke every agreement with TNA, and I went to war. And I did some dirty tricks, which have lost them sponsorship. And I've done them dirty tricks to... I think I did a negative story. I haven't heard anything about that. They did lose sponsors in the sponsor attack. So I got $349 on that. and 113 days. So that's like a week ago I did that. So yeah, they upset me. I retaliated, and now, as it happens, Adam Scherr, aka Braun Strowman, works for us. He's a main event player for us, and he's on a very good contract, more than he should be, because we kind of had to outbid them. And because we're at war, he is leaving TNA. So we win. We win. I also went ahead and did two big things in my mind. We're now level WWE on the broadcast. We're above WWE on the music. We're one behind on live and production. That means we're taking a -5 to our shows, not a -10. It also means WWE are taking a -3 to their show ratings. It also means TNA, who we're at war with, are taking a -10. So are NXT, so are GCW. So we're taking no prisoners. We're doing what we need to do to kind of get ahead. We spent a bit of money. You might also have noticed the next thing on that screen. If you haven't, I'm not gonna draw it out. We basically put $3.5 million into a network. We got a medium USA network with, a small reach into Canada and Mexico and a tiny reach into Britain and Japan. We're saving up some money. We're making, I think, per collision on like almost no fans, like 500 fans. I think we made 60 grand. On a Dynamite with like 2,500 in attendance, I think we made 100 grand. And for All In, I want to say we made like 300 grand profit. So, yeah, we are eating into things. It is taking its time to get everything done. But that's a big thing because we've got deals now with the AEW network. And I like the fact that we've got our own network that's putting out around the world all our shows. And we take all the money. We don't have to worry about it. It's always in prime time. It's a commercial one, so we just book as much as we can to get like every half hour, where it earns money every half hour. So we book in blocks of 30 minutes, and we do what we need to do. We still have some big carriers in America the for the events. Sorry, for the TV. We want to get it for the events, but basically, we're kind of having an impact everywhere that's going to make us money. That's going to be very useful. So that's kind of where all our money's gone. Nothing else too much has changed. I think we had the same announced teams. I think we had the same booking team. Maybe not. Maybe you haven't seen Scott D'Amore joined. And Jeff Jarrett basically got kicked out. What you won't have seen is how many people have left and been fired for various reasons, like issues backstage. Adam Cole went to war on Britt Baker for some reason and turned like 8 different people in 2 shows against her backstage because they'd broken up. Just total chaos. People siding with one or other. I wasn't happy. I let some people go. Then, their friends got upset, and I let their people go, and we carried on down this road. I think you would have seen some of it. Matt and Nick are still away. They've had a long time away. Kenny Omega's come back, but we upset a lot of people there. And a bunch of other people have gone, including the big names would be Jungle Boy Jack Perry, who I'm not sad about losing, but was a very good overall popularity that we could have used to put other people over. And of course, the troublemaker himself, Adam Cole, baby, bye bye, as well as Britt Baker, and the entire pretty much faction of the Undisputed Kingdom, we only kept Roderick Strong. So Taven, Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett's wife who'd been in the company for a day that I had, Marie Kanellis. She went because I upset her because Mike went, and Wardlow. Just had nothing for them. I've hired a lot of very good managers, very good producers, very good road agents, very good personalities, referees, etc. Like, we're as good as we can be. A shortlist currently looks like this: a mix between some very young and talented people we can work on, and some very good all-round or high popularity people. And so everybody's got a place, whether it's as a wrestler, as a manager, as a road agent, as a referee, as an announcer, um, whatever it might be. I've got different ideas and different things we can kind of put together as we go. A lot of these are bound under WWE or NXT contracts. Some of the young Japanese will be up even more. Like 207 days for Seth Rollins, aka Tyler Black. That isn't too far away. That could be interesting. Corey Graves, Sterling James Keenan, that could definitely be a good one to pick up again. Not that far away. Sefa Fatu, Solo Sikoa, 142 days. 90 days for Becky Lynch, aka Rebecca Knox. And if we are getting Tyler Black, then we get the married couple. I think that makes a lot of sense to try and go over that way and just kind of round everything up nicely. Even Michael Cole, 143 days, and so on. You can see we do have some options. 67 to get Kana, aka Asuka. So, yeah, Roman Reigns, couple hundred days. Tiffy, 100 days. Jacob Fat, 241 days. Ilya, 91 days. Sami, 104 days. 189 on Bailey. I feel pretty good, 152 on Alexa Bliss. I feel pretty good about the list we've got and where we could go and what we could do. I did figure out as well that we should be on 3-ring circus, not main event match focus. I've done a lot more looking into the types of matches, the aims of matches, etc., to try and get that better, how to book a little better, how to book a little easier. And the shows are just going to be the shows. They're not going to be anything special. There's not really going to be any planned booking. There's a lot of auto booking that I'm tweaking. And then we go into the events, and the events are the actual booking. And that's what I'm actually doing. We do have a storylines we cut out a lot, but world title picture is extremely hot. The international title extremely hot. And then the Queen and the Continental for the women's titles are hot and a little cold. We've just put in the tag battles, a 3-way dance for that. Some stables have changed. Bang Bang Gang gained new members. Family of Cage is brand new. We also had pictures put in for some new people who entered into the game. And also people had missing pictures. I went and found pictures of them. Okada created his own dojo, the Rainmaker Dojo, and put everybody who's Japanese and doesn't really speak English. Kota can speak passable. Everyone else can't speak English, so he's kind of their spokesperson. The conspiracy, there is a leader to come, and when that happens, that'll all flesh out quite nicely. Death Riders as they are, but at All In, something happened, and we're looking at how the Death Riders will pull themselves apart. Batista comes in and takes over the Hounds of Hell, now renamed the Fallen Empire. Roderick Strong and Killswitch join Brody King and Buddy Matthews, trying to push Buddy. Tag team of Brody and Killswitch, I think, but maybe with Roddy as well. I don't know. Hurt Syndicate got a couple other members and trying to make Bobby a main event player and Shelton Benjamin Powerhouse Hobb into a new tag team. Apparently, they got no chemistry together and they absolutely hate tagging with one another. So that's not going to work out the way I wanted it to. So, yeah, I don't know. Might have a job at tag team of Powerhouse Hobbs and Jacoby Brooks and end up getting rid of Shelton. That might be a thing. But this is who I want to push. I really like Jay. I really like Juice. Bandito and Rush are two fantastic Mexicans. Rush especially is, ultra charismatic with star quality. Kind of feel like he's the next one to get up to that upper mid card and into the main event. So we're looking at that. We did reform the Acclaimed because I felt that was something I wanted to do. The new Hounds of Hell at the moment are Killswitch and Brody King, but they don't really tag well together either. Couple of new people have come in as the new foundation. We'll look at them a little bit later on, but we've got some tag teams. It's not the best in the world. That being said, I think Chris Statlander is charismatic. Okay, yeah, 1.2 million. Considering we had like 500 or 600 in the building, I think for Collision, a 1.48 TV rating and 1.2 million overall viewers. I think that's going to save us when we're having these low crowds. We do have 44 everywhere in the US, 43 Puerto Rico and Hawaii. We're up to 61 in the Southeast. Canada's 44. Mexico's 15 and 12. British Isles 52 and 44. 8 in Japan, 6 in Europe, 43 with some 42s in Oceania, and 4 in India. I feel like that's decent progress. We got a lot to get through, so I'm trying not to forget anything and not to skip over anything. Yeah, I think quick look at the roster. And so, yeah, like Cope, Chris Jericho, Dustin, and probably one or two others that were wrestlers but were like 50 or very close to 50 and over. They've kind of all been pushed into road agency / management, and they've all got clients and everything works out. But there's Page. He looks really happy at the moment. I'm sure, like I say, we kind of went to war with TNA for him. Reason why is he can talk a bit, he can brawl a bit. He might end up as a decent road agent one day. He's safe, and he's ultra popular. He's up to 64, which I believe, don't quote me on this, but puts him number one. Because Sting doesn't wrestle, and neither's this guy, who we brought in very recently. And he's, 2,600 a show, which isn't that much when I think he was supposed to be 1,700, but he ended up being 2,000, $5,000 bonus, and travel because of TNA's BS. So that's fine though. And we still got some people. Annabelle, we found a picture for, young British wrestler. So I'm just gonna, bounce through and I'll stop at anyone interesting. New picture for Bodie, young prodigy. Brian Hebner, new picture for him. And most of these are new people. Bought in Bully Ray, he's got his own couple of proteges. And there'll be storylines built out of all these people. Hero's backstage, Jericho's backstage, Cage is backstage, Daniels is backstage, Chucky will end up backstage, Claudio will end up backstage, Cope might end up backstage. This is just what we're doing with the older people. This is just what we're kind of doing. So we got Dave Batista, and then I'll come back to some of these because they're graduates from various academies that we've managed to either get first offers on or nobody's picked up and we've gone for. But we will look at all those in turn. Yeah, Elijah Burke, aka Dinero, D'Angelo Dinero, the Black Pope. We actually got I downloaded 2 pictures for Elijah, and we got the Pope as the second variant there. Most people have one. A really bad picture for Helios, but it's the only one I could really find, and I had to stretch it and do all kinds of things to get it to look even halfway decent. I think all these had pictures. I feel so. That's another one there that isn't quite right. Leland Bryant, we got a picture for him. He's a real guy. But I think there might be a couple other pictures down here. I want to make sure I get them all. Aha. Shea Purser, young Welsh referee in training. He's not that good, but he is learning. So we'll kind of get him all set up. And yeah, so Toshio Kamata from Dragon Gate's dojo, 6'2", 231, impactful wrestler. He doesn't speak English. He is studying in the Rainmaker dojo underneath Kazukada. I think that's fine. He does work for both of us. But that is fine. I think he was like number 3 graduating wrestler into the world. Number 2 was absolutely terrible. Number 4 was bad, but we picked him up anyway. Number 1 we picked up because we had a first option on, and I've just picked up another 2 that we had first options on. So, yeah, it's kind of rolling as we go. Lil Short was the one that I didn't think was very good because overall, not amazing, 23, but an MMA crossover, only 5'7", 209-pound muscular American. He is an MMA fighter, so we do kind of have to be a little wary of him going off and fighting and maybe getting injured. The first one we signed was Kelly Shimwell. I'm not sure if you've seen over 5'10", 140. Another MMA crossover. Not great in the ring, but a little more rounded outside and a little more charismatic. So I like that. So I did go and I AI generated some pictures because it's quick, it's easy. I can kind of get something I want without putting a ton of work in it, which means I can put more time into playing the game. And yes, the latest 2 are nuts. Like George Blanchard is just unbelievable. So much so that I've gone and put him on an exclusive contract instead of 20 per show. I've given him 200 per show to lock him in for 2 years. He's got a positive outlook. He's like just this massive baby face, badass, legitimate. He's already doing little bits here and there, but like he came out to the dojo with 69 puroresu, 65 technical. Like he's out the Hart family dungeon. That's exactly what I would expect. 6'4", 283, toned Canadian. Like, and his charisma and just everything here is just, yeah. Makes all the other ones we signed look really, really bad. So we got big hopes for George's. He's only just signed like a day or 2 ago. That's kind of what he looks like. And the other one that came up the Hart family dungeon exactly the same time is just a brawler with a little bit of extra. Doesn't look quite as good, but still looks much better than all the others we've signed as well. Is Davy David, a 21-year-old, 6'9", 371-pound striker, and he is ripped. And I generated a picture to kind of show a little bit of that. Just big fan, and I am likely to use this kind of head and shoulders rather than just like we've got in Batista there, but rather than just headshots as everybody else has ultra zoomed in, and that'll also help us differentiate between them a lot quicker. So yeah, those are the ones we've signed. That's our roster. It's tight and it's good and it works. If we do look at training, let's hop in on there. We can see if anybody else has come out. Yes, Violet Gay. Who are you? Non-binary Canadian wrestler from the Can-Am Wrestling School. 5'4", 159, regular wrestler. Not bad. 19? Not bad. Not good enough to get an exclusive deal, like George's, or the regular deal I offered David David, and I'm now negotiating to give him 200 and make an exclusive deal. But I think Violet is young enough and good enough. Camden McAllister, I've seen, is only 20. I don't think is amazing. He's out the Monster Factory. 6'2", 285. He's gloomy. Like, doesn't look amazing. So we're not going to sign absolutely everybody. Kamata, like I say, we have picked up the first person out the Dragon Gate dojo. Flatbacks have got one. Polly Blackburn. 5'5", 150, ripped high flyer. Okay. Scumbag bomb fighter, that'd be a nightmare. Can wrestle a bit and has star quality. Oh my god. I don't like that and I hate that. Can they change personality? I don't know. I wish they could. Yeah, flatbacks. Who runs flatbacks? Is that Tyler Breeze? Maybe? Written deal just on 20 a month. Sean Spears, yeah, I think Tyler Breeze is involved in that, maybe? I can't remember. Kelly, the first one that came out of all of them, and was one of the ones that we were affiliated with. The pair, who just look amazing, coming out the Hart Family Dungeon, which I'm not super surprised about. Ooh, the Fatu Jim. Vaughn Solomon. 5'9", 214 technician. He's a bully. Well, we don't love that. He looks okay, but yeah, he's not super impressive enough. Solchiro Shimazu. 22. There's some really nice things. He's a bully. I don't feel that we need to add bad personalities in. We've worked really hard not to. Lyle Shaw has come through and we have signed him. Why hasn't Lyle got his pictures in an alter ego? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I need to look at that and try and find out Because like, he's got his picture. He does have his picture. But it's not showing up here. That's interesting. Not really sure why. Can I edit that? I think I should be able to. Okay, I've just gone in, changed that picture. I'm trying just to use that to do a couple of bits like that now and again. I'm not really editing much. Okay, there we go. So Lyle's got his picture up there as well. Like it. Nice. So, yeah, I feel like we've done pretty good. Make sure we're getting after a lot of those graduates and kind of putting ourselves in a good place. The product is, as I say, up to a 3-ring circus now, which I feel suits us slightly better. And show history 56 for the first one we booked, 55 on the second. That was computer ran. I kind of booked, well, the computer booked, and then I added things around it to get a 64. Computer booked a 62. Computer then, when I just added a post show and a pre show, got a 59. And then a 56, again, just computer booked. And I used those ratings and the ratings of each individual segment to figure out that, if I did normal or main event focus or 3-ring circus or whatever other ones there are, like collaboration or whatever it's called, what would we have done in each way? And I figured out 3-ring circus was the best. I do want to see. Yeah, look, we had like almost half a million viewers on Dynamite, like 437, and we had 558 viewers on Collision. That's fine. We did it prior to All In, and I changed a bunch of stuff prior to All In, and so we had 664,000 viewers for All In. So yeah, we're kind of making money that way. So we're going to recoup our losses, but we're also going to plumb money back into it and increase eventually America to big, Canada and Mexico to medium, and Japan and Britain to small. That's kind of the next level up. That's kind of my next focus on that. But we booked this out, so we flooded the pre-show with just everybody that wasn't being used. We worked backwards down the card. We give Nick Wayne a match and Hook a match because they're kind of getting pushed at the moment to try and get them up to the mid card. We had the women's match on the pre-show. Then Buddy Matthews and the Bang Bang Gang defeated Wardlow, Max Caster, Anthony Bowen. Solid match. Batista debuted, and he announced that he was there to lead the Hounds of Hell, aka the Fallen Empire now. So that kind of got put together. Samoa Joe, Strickland, and Rush needed a little bit of a momentum switch, so we gave them that in this match. So it's a bit of a nothing, but a good rating because there are good people in here. And FTR had a tag title defense. I wanted to defend all the titles, but Mercedes Money was working for CMLL on this night for some reason. They're slightly ahead of us in priority, so we didn't get to do that. Then a promo with MVP because I needed to advance a few things and change some alignments there. So I knew that wasn't going to be a good rating, but with a tight focus on angles, you need one really good one and one quite good one. And we ended up with exactly that. So a lot of your other work can be done in the angles. one of the best matches of the night. Adam Cole over Claudio. Then Jake Roberts and FTR come out and speak, and forwarded another. That forwarded the old tag storyline, which is now gone and been replaced. Adam Page defeats Ricochet in a solid match. Kenny over Okada retaining his title. I left that up to the road agents to decide, and they let Kenny have it. Adam Cole was going to go after it at the next pay-per-view, but on the back of this, he basically kicked off a fuss, and the next Dynamite, he kicked off a fuss and set people against Britt Baker and turned the backstage into an absolute nightmare for a few days. So that's not now going to happen. So yeah, it was all leading. He had to go poke the bear. He had to go poke the bear. But that was a solid match. An interview with Sting didn't really do much because Sting was talking to Will Ospreay, who isn't that great, and it just didn't work out. MJF over Will Ospreay in a very good match, and both of them have been pushed quite heavily. So they're both in really nice spots on the card right now. Then we had an interview with MJF. The interview was hosted by Chris Jericho. I wish I would have named it a little better, but I do remember. And he tried to goad MJF, but MJF wasn't having any of it. That was our highest rated angle. So between that, 90% of that, and then 10% of the 63, which is basically 6, that gave us like a 75 overall angle score, which played into the show score. So quite happy about that. The 75 and the 71 went together with the main event, where we had a finish that was almost certain to work for Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. And not only didn't it happen, but Mox was really off his game, apparently. And so a main event that really should have been mid to high 70s ends up at 66 because of two different things that went against us when both should have helped us. So that's like a 10-point swing. That's brutal. But it is what happened. And then the angle, basically, after Mox lost the title and Bryan Danielson kind of celebrates, the Death Riders come out down the ramp. Claudio and Pac. Bryan's looking around. He's wondering what's going on. They split, go either side of the ring, climb up onto the apron. Bryan backs away, slips under the bottom rope, and holding his title over his shoulder, he's looking at them. They watch him just back up to the ramp, and he leaves. They don't go after him. Their heads watch him go, and then turn back middle of the ring. Mox is hurt. He's dazed, he's confused, he's during Daniel Bryan's moves, he realizes he's lost. And he's got this weird look on his face. And he can't open one eye. It's starting to swell. And he looks up and he sees Claudio to the left, Pac to the right. They look at him, they look up at each other. He tries to put himself back on one knee, but he's wobbling. He's kind of waving them in the ring to help him. They look down at him, back at each other, and simultaneously drop off the apron, walk around the ring, back up the ramp, don't look back, Mox left on his own, we go off the air. That's kind of the idea of how All In happened. It would have been really nice if this would have been a fantastic thing. We would have got an even higher show rating. It is what it is. We did at least pull back to 60, I believe, on that show. Then we had a 69 when I booked Dynamite, and we got a great angle with Sting. We didn't really try and do anything. Backed up by a 73 with Samoa Joe. So that's pretty much an 86, I believe, angle score. And yeah, main event 61. The best other two matches are MJF over Claudio, Okada, Omega, Lashley, and Danielson. Um, Big win for MJF. And I believe, would be Swerve over Benjamin. And so we averaged those three out for the three ring. It isn't a very high score. We've got a very high angle to balance out, and that was okay. Yeah, 2,500 people there. And then the show I just booked, 360 people for a 68. And again, we're slowly getting our matches in. So we got our matches are between the 73, 72, and the 71. But if they hadn't worked out, we did have a 71 and a 69. So we had some good matches. This one, I went a little bit off script with the angles, which pulled that overall score down. I believe our best one is this 56. So we take 51 and then add 4 points from this to get a 55. And that, with the very good match score, would even out, and then other things would apply. But because after All In, before All In, we bought the network, I think either for Dynamite or after Dynamite, I updated I think it was before Collision, I updated and went ahead and bought the production values. So everything here, this is -10. Up until here, which is -7, that's -7, and this now should be -5, if I've got that correctly. So yeah, that's kind of the idea for All In, the booking we've done, the way that we're going. At the moment, I believe, and I want to double check this, because I've got a way to double check this. I think there's only one person who's coming in who hasn't yet come in. We've only got one contract on the table, apart from those youngsters, and that will be the leader of the conspiracy, the person to lead James Drake and Zach Gibson, those grizzled young veterans, Lance Archer, the murder hawk, and Griff, who were trying to kind of catapult out of this group with some momentum. So, yeah, bringing someone to lead this stable that's going to really interfere with things, is going to help with the downfall of the Death Riders, is going to shake the foundations of the Hurt Syndicate as well before they kind of implode. And the big push is going to be Bang Bang Gang, Hook, Nick Wayne, and honestly, no. Like, Davey, sure, yeah. 100% Georges Blanchard. 100%. It's gotta be. How can I not? But yeah, at 20, he's probably as good or better than some of the people in their early 30s that we have. He needs to work on his fundamentals and his physicals a little bit. Athleticism, stamina for sure, selling for sure, psychology. Once he kind of gets those few up, he can already wrestle. He's very tough. He looks the part. He's all over the place. Between him and, like I say, 6'9" of Davey David, I'm just super excited to see where that goes. I'm super excited to see if we can turn this young pair into superstars. And we've given them Steve Austin as a mouthpiece and to kind of push them. And so we need to find a good way to get them into angles and doing certain things. with him to learn on the mic. And also when they're in the ring, he's going to help their match rating. And they're probably going to beat 3.0. And they're probably going to beat the new Hounds of Hell, which is Killswitch and Brody King, which I just think stuff like that is going to help. But that's kind of as quick an update as I can do over all the off camera, all the on camera. If you don't see anybody, they no longer work for us. Like I say, a lot of names, some quite big names, some very over people. Had to be done. Had to be done for my own sanity. Going to war with TNA over Adam Scherr, which we are winning. And yeah, just spending all our money and slowly accumulating back. So I think we were under by a little bit for All In. We ended up making, I think, 230,000. We only got 200 in the bank, or 100. Sorry, 100. Yeah, I don't know. We were down like 15 grand, and then we made like 100 grand on the last show of Dynamite, and then 60 grand on Collision, I believe. Oh yes, because we spent the All In money to get the tiny coverage of UK and Japan on our network. That's what we did. Because we had medium in the US and small in Canada and Mexico. UK and Japan, we had nothing. We spent the money to get those up to tiny. That's what we did. So yeah, that's kind of everything. Chemistry wise, Brody doesn't want to fight Bobby. Bryan Danielson couldn't book with Jeff Jarrett, but he loves working with Scott D'Amore. Juice is a great manager for Jay White and for Rush. Leland Bryant likes being managed by Dave. Ronald doesn't like Cabrera to work with, but he really likes working with Daniels. That's good. Pac shouldn't wrestle Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne also no longer says it here, but Nick Wayne really didn't like being managed by Christian Cage, which is why he no longer is. Ricochet works well with Adam Copeland. Shelton Benjamin loves MVP as a manager, hates teaming with Powerhouse Hobbs. Tony Schiavone, good chemistry with Y2J. And Will Ospreay, good chemistry managed by Sting. Also in a match with someone that now has disappeared. And I think also creative, I guess, booking team. Yeah, we've got a likely finish for Bryan Daniel. Son, we've got some character ideas to refresh their morale and momentums, which some of the momentums especially are going to need. We got a safe one. We got two near certain ones. Because I knew we were going to need them, so I went out and spent some of our creativity on it, our creative energies. We got some creative finishes, two near certains, and a big gamble. We got a safe bet or two for gimmicks, a big gamble and a likely. So I'm going to see kind of how the new guys' gimmicks are going to go, and then we'll do something that makes a lot of sense, and we're going to use one of these creative ideas or two of these creative ideas on it. We don't own a training facility. I kind of want to, but we're profiting from basically paying 20 grand a month. A little, I think it's like 20 grand, $250 for first refusal on the Heart dungeon, which has got us our best two by far, and the number one is just unbelievably good. And the Funkin' Conservatory, which has already got us a solid prospect, and we've been able to pick up a couple from elsewhere, and we're going to pick up a couple more. So I don't think we truly need our own training facilities. We're going to need a lot of money to get the performance center so then I can send people to train there, which would be really nice. But apart from that, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I feel like we're in a good place. We've got no promises. We don't need to mess with anything. Like I say, we're kind of in a good place with a lot of people. New Japan don't like us. They just ended a couple of agreements, not us. If they want to be upset, they can be upset. Um, that's fine. And TNA we're just at war with because I find that hilarious. Um, so yeah, I feel pretty good. So let me know kind of what you think, what you want to see, what I haven't shown. We did some drug testing. We actually got Elijah Burke and no, sorry, not Elijah Burke. We got MVP to quit his drug habit. He wasn't very happy. We tried it twice. It didn't really work out. We've only got a few negative personalities. We got rid of our negative relationship, which was Adam Cole and Britt Baker. But yeah, the thing is, I'm not going to be pushing Darby Allin to the moon unlike them in real life. So I could get rid of him and not really suffer. I could get rid of Jamie Hayter and not really suffer, and her only friend on the roster was Britt Baker, and she's been upset that Britt's gone, so it might just make sense to get rid of her. Kamata was a mildly negative influence, but not a big issue, and I kind of enjoy having him in here and stealing him from, from a Japan dojo. I think that's just kind of funny. I wouldn't miss Sami too badly. I wouldn't miss Tay too badly. If I got rid of one, I'd have to get rid of the other because they're married. Which really leaves me with, apart from Kamata, Jay White, who I don't want to get rid of and I kind of want to push, and John Moxley, who I think is a good part of our main roster, and Renee is one of our announcers, so I definitely don't want to get rid of him and upset her. Although if I did, I could get rid of him and just pay her 10 grand. She'd be absolutely fine. So yeah, like if Commander doesn't work out, that's fine. We've got other sort of academy graduates that we can develop and work on. I don't mind. If Mox has got to go, Mox has got to go. Jay's the one that's going to suck, but Juice is kind of the star in the making on the mic in the Bang Bang Gang and in the ring and for like star quality and everything. It is Rush. So we could easily get rid of all of these and just everything would be okay. Everything would be okay. But I just want to quickly go, yeah, soft drug user, former. So I haven't tested everybody out, but I've tested everybody where it said they were either a drug user, a drinker, or a smoker right now, and also a former addict of anything, former smoker, former drinker, steroids, painkillers, hard drugs, or soft drugs. And the only one that came back with anything was MVP. Took 2 different drug tests. We kind of had a soft chat with him, and then we kind of had an ultimatum with him, and that caused him to kind of toe the line. We did go to Stone Cold and ask him to quit drinking, and he said he tried, but it's got a real hold of him, which doesn't feel nice to hear, but I do understand. And we're not going to push the boat on that one right now because it's Stone Cold. But yeah, I think we've got some of the best referees, we've got some of the best road agents, we've got some of the best announcers on our short list. If we get, basically, honestly, if we got Paul Heyman, our announced teams are 99% complete. Him and either Michael Cole or Sterling James Keenan, who I like a little better perhaps, that could just be a much better way of doing things. Um, so there's very little sort of we can do backstage. We've got some of the best managers. There's very little we can do to improve the backstage more than we have. The in-ring talent is pretty high. Everyone who can't talk very well or isn't charismatic enough does have a manager that is helping their matches and their angles. And each of the youngsters is learning from a couple of people, and we got some programs in mind. So I feel like we're set up. I feel like I say if we do one event, a video with a little bit of preamble about it, kind of like this, where I quickly go over everything that's changed and some of my thought process and who I'm pushing and what's changed and why. And then we can book the event, watch it play out, look at the fallout from it, and kind of analyze where we're at. If we do that every single time, then it's not going to take long at all. Really. We'll do 2 months a week. If we split it up into two videos, it'd be 1 month a week. If we did one month per video, 2 videos a week, 6 weeks we've done a year, and then we get progress, and then we actually see people like Georges or David develop and turn into stars, and that's where I think the story is. So yeah, let me know what you think. Your thoughts on the new people, some of the people we got rid of. I know I might have overreacted, but I think long term is going to be big for us. Getting the network is going to pay for itself within a year, by my calculations, just about. That allows us to push the boat out in the production, which allows us to get higher ratings, which means we can grow quicker, especially when to rise to big, we need to get to 77, which means our shows need to be 5 points ahead of that to grow to 77, which means we need to be on an 81, 82 show consistently enough to bump up to that 77, which is going to take us to big. Hope that makes sense. It kind of does in my mind, but I'm still kind of learning bits about it. But yeah, I feel like there's a plan, there's an idea, there's some storylines. Things are working out. There's some very talented youngsters, very good low carders and openers. The mid card is interesting mix, but there's a lot of people there I don't mind burying to get other people over. The upper card is solid with a couple of people as gatekeepers and just trying to, again, put people over on them to go up a little bit more. And the main event's really, really competitive. Yeah, I really think we're in a good place. But have your say, comment section down below. Smash the like button, subscribe if you already haven't. More content on the way. Check out the playlist available on the channel as well. So many games updated weekly, bi-weekly. Most of them multiple times a week easily. There's a video every day on the channel. Most days, if not all days, should be 2 videos going up or 1 very long video. So, yeah, if that's not worth subscribing for, I don't know what is. Really would appreciate it. Road to 1,000. We're over 950 now. We're climbing. We're getting there. I think we go up a little bit and then someone unsubscribes. And then 2 days later, we get 2 or 3 more subscribers. I think maybe people are being funny with it. I don't know. Maybe it's just not for them. But I hope it's for you. I hope I see you back here soon. I'm really enjoying this. I'm learning a lot. It's very chaotic, and I've done big sweeping changes, which I didn't want to do. But I feel it's helped me be more comfortable playing and thinking about it. It should make it a lot easier to record videos and content for it. And it should end up with a better series for you. So I hope you like it. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you next time as we are on the road to Forbidden Door. Until then, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. All the best. And who's your favorite newcomer? Why is it Georges Blanchard? Bye, guys.